Hey, wow. That was great stuff, man. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much for having me.
Oh, we'll
really
do it
cool.
again. Hey, you know, I hear you pronounce this, and I hear you pronounce it Kyiv, which is what I was pronouncing it forever. Is it Kyiv? Kyiv?
I think the most important thing is that you remember that it's spelled Kyiv, so not with E. There's been big discussions of how you spell it. The way you pronounce it is, well, it's not that important. I don't know. We call it Kiev, but it's fine.
Kiev?
Yes, yes.
Well, it's just one more thing the American journalists have gotten wrong.
This is something you don't really to concentrate on. It's fine. The most important thing is the way you write it. That's the important bit. Yeah.
Okay. You don't seem rattled, or you don't seem an imminent threat there. You seem pretty calm, cool, and collected to me.
Look, I'm home. Like, why would I be threatened? You know, there are lots of bad dudes near my city, and we are working really, really hard to kill all of them. And I think you've asked me a very good question in the end there. What I wanted to convey to the West and to American people, and the single most effective weapon of Putin is fear, and he is trying to scare everyone. And basically, because he's succeeding in scaring everyone, nobody has the balls to basically stand up to him and fight. Ukrainian people has definitely stood up to him, and we are fighting. And believe me, we will fight to the last man. What we're effectively just trying to ask the West is just to keep the support coming, keep the resources coming, and keep the weapons coming. We don't need to close the skies like,
no-fly zone.
Yes, exactly. Yes. Okay. Just if you will provide anti-aircraft missiles, that the way that you have already done, like you've already done that. What we are asking is just to do a little bit more in quantity.
Mark, are you surprised that Russia is as inept as it appears? They don't seem like they're very good.
I will explain why. Again, this has been a propaganda move from Putin, to portray them as an imminent force that is unstoppable. Russia is extremely corrupt, and their army is also extremely corrupt. That's why it works like shit, because it's corrupt. All the money they've spent there was spent on lavish houses of generals and stuff like that. That's why their army is ineffective. That's why we're saying, stop being afraid of Putin. He is not scary at all. You can face him. You don't actually need to do it by yourself. We will handle it. Just please send in more guns and more money, and we will do this.
You're not asking for American or NATO troops. You're just saying fund your fight. Give you the tools to fight it yourself. But you understand that there's worry here because of the nuclear potential. Again, when the Pentagon war gamed this, every time Putin was backed in a corner in the war games, he launched.
Look, as I told you, the very fact that we're sitting right now here is because the West didn't say to him in 2008, you can't do this.
Right. You're talking about going back to Georgia.
Yes.
Before Crimea.
I mean, the world should have just told him, look, man, this is not cool. We will not do business with you. We will not buy your gas. We will not buy your oil until you back off. And the West didn't say this. They just said, well, okay. And then you had Syria, then you had 2014 Ukraine annexation of Crimea and Donbass, and now you will have the war in Ukraine, the whole huge country. And I really ask the question, when is enough? When the world says, okay, this is it, fuck it. We will go to the end, he must be stopped. I seriously don't understand how many thousands of people he needs to kill for the West to say, no, we can't do this anymore. We have to stop him right now. And this is actually, I think, the most crucial point in the world's history right now. If we keep letting him kill more and more people, I can guarantee he will eventually, use nuclear weapons and kill every single person on the planet. I don't understand why we need to constantly push the boundary further and further. Because if you crush his economy, if you crush his army, I mean, we will crush his army. Eventually, that's the end game for him. His own people will take care of him because they see that Putin is eventually walking Russia into the complete disarray and complete, dismantlement of the whole country. So they will take him out. They will eventually remove him from power. And when you're talking about war games, I don't know whether you guys realize it, but when the president issues a nuclear strike, he's not really pressing the button from which the nuclear missile goes off. There are still lots of rounds of people that have to physically, initiate the launch.
Yes.
And we have already had many cases when people have received an order to make a nuclear strike and they have refused to do so because they simply understand what is the consequences of their actions. And I'm sure you know there has been a couple of cases where on submarines people have received the order to strike and they have refused to do so. And they have been on a submarine, so they actually didn't know whether there was a nuclear war out there or not, and they have refused to fire nuclear weapons.
Okay, so we're on the honor system with everybody having a clear head if something really goes askew.
He is crazy. That is precisely why he has to be stopped, because he is crazy.
Do you think these sanctions have been effective?
Yes, of course they are.
Do you think they will be? It takes a while.
Exactly. So again, my position on the sanctions they are effective, but again, you need to do more. So essentially what we're talking about is a complete blockade of his economy, because if his economy starts to crush, he will have much more problems on his own front, which is, people in the streets are, meeting because they have no food, etc., etc. So he will have so many problems within the country itself that he will stop. He will not be able to provide resources for the war. So again, we're coming back to this point where the West is doing a good job. Finally, you're introducing sanctions, but you need to do more.
Got it. Okay. Mark, thank you so much. It's great to meet you. Best of luck. Stay safe.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye.
We'll see you. Bye-bye.